So as I said earlier, there are 33 states that have legalized medical marijuana: Guam and Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia. When I'm asked to give advice to a facility whether or not they can allow residents to consume medical marijuana, I tell them, number one, first and foremost, it is illegal and you're violating federal law. To date, I'm not aware of any prosecutions of any nursing home physician, nursing home resident, where a resident in a nursing home has consumed medical marijuana. The federal government has taken a position that as long as a grower, seller, distributor, user is complying with state law, they're not going to prosecute. Now that may change year to year. There's actually a rider to the appropriations bill that Congress passes that stipulates that the funds that Congress provide to the Department of Justice cannot be used to prosecute anyone who grows, sells, distributes, or uses medical marijuana in strict compliance with state law. So I also tell providers that if you're complying with state law, if you have a resident in a nursing home that's a registered user, they've registered with the state, which is not difficult to do, and the physician, their treating physician, has recommended it, then the chances of being prosecuted are slim to none, again, based on the current state of the law, as well as the fact that there has never been prosecution of a nursing home resident for smoking or consuming medical marijuana. In addition to that, there are over 1,000 bills currently, as we speak, in state legislatures and in Congress dealing with various aspects of medical marijuana, from banking to growing, distributing, selling, and using. It's my opinion that the genie is out of the bottle. There's no doubt in my mind that medical marijuana will be legalized at the federal level. It is still Schedule 1, but I think that's going to change. We've already seen some changes as it relates to hemp. Last year, Congress passed the Farm Bill, and the result of that was that hemp was removed from Schedule 1 status, and now hemp products are ubiquitous. It's hard to walk into Rite Aid, CVS, Walmart without seeing a hemp product on the shelves, on more than one shelf. And I suspect that THC, which is the psychoactive component in cannabis, is going to be decriminalized, at least as it relates to the medicinal use. Recreational marijuana is a completely different story, and I can't speak to that, but I certainly believe that not allowing a resident to have a product that would benefit them medically, to me, is criminal. And while there haven't been as many studies as we'd like to see, and the reason for that has been the government's restrictions on studies in this country, but anecdotally and empirically, we're seeing that more and more people are testifying or attributing beneficial results. One interesting study that I'd like to mention, there was a study that was published in Health Affairs a few years ago, and the researchers looked at Part D, which is the government's prescription drug program. They looked at Part D claims for drugs in 17 states. There were 17 states that had legalized medical marijuana. There were 17 states that have decriminalized medical marijuana, and this was in 2013. And the researchers looked at the Part D claims data, and they found that CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services that oversees Medicare, saved $165.2 million in prescription costs. They drilled down further, and what the researchers found, not surprisingly, was a precipitous drop in opioid prescriptions. So it seems to me that medical marijuana in that context is a win-win situation for all stakeholders. You have residents who need pain control and pain management, and instead of taking dangerous opioids, which can cause obviously overdose and even death, they're weaned off of narcotics such as the opioids, and they're using medical marijuana. The government is saving money. It's a win-win situation, unless you're the pharmaceutical company making the opioid-induced drugs.